Is really the Kung Fu Vampire?
What up?
It is.
Oh, shit.
Yo, man, we were trying to get a hold of you.
I'm in the middle of cooking, so I looked over and checked the old Twitter feed like a social media fiend that I am, and saw the tweets and decided, oh shit, I better call.
Are you like Lil B cooking, like just dancing it up?
Are you making chow mein?
Yeah, me and Little B, we're very similar in every aspect of everything in life.
So Kung Fu Vampire, as you know, we are the official podcast of the Gathering of the Juggalos.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop.
So I hear from you only.
No, don't worry. We're the official source. So it doesn't matter who else says it.
Sorry, you're not on the inner circle, Fu.
No, you guys have got my attention, and that's all that matters, man.
Is there anyone that you are beefing with?
You know, here's the thing, guys. Like, I'm definitely not gonna. When we're done with this interview, you're gonna say, "Hey, this dude's not the guy we thought he was, not the typical, rap guy." But my beefs may be from the streets of where I live, from drug shit from 10 years ago, not guys that rap. You know what I mean?
Not some rapping shit.
Beef. I'm not into. I don't do the rap beef. You know what I mean? That's for like. That stuff is for people who really don't really have beef. That's for people who are trying to get famous off something or whatever, or their egos are so inflated. Somebody hurt their little ego, so they go on a record and talk shit about them. That's not me.
Now, when it comes to you're the Kung Fu Vampire, admittedly, that's way over the top. Now, I know in certain crowds that's gotta win you some points, but do you ever feel it undercuts people taking you seriously?
If you took a classic rap guy or somebody who's very traditional, so to speak, and we all know people like that, they would probably say, "What the fuck?" And then you go see it live, and that same guy's going to go, "Oh, okay, I get it now. It's Kung Fu Vampire. Okay, like some Rob Zombie shit. I get it." You know what I mean? So it's just because I put more effort into what I'm doing and don't wear a goddamn rap costume, people, there is always going to be those doubters, but I undoubtedly am a quality MC, and if anybody with half of an eardrum goes to a concert, they're going to enjoy themselves. You know what I mean? And that's the important part. And I do feel like it does pigeonhole me in some ways. I don't know in what direction, but I've gotten pretty far independently thus far with, zero backing, no
support.
Executive producer. These people, they always claim, oh, we're independent, but they got some millionaire that funds their whole operation. It's like, dude, I mean, at what point do you drop the independent skit? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm independent, meaning however hard I work is how much you're going to see from Kung Fu,
How did you decide to go with Kung Fu Vampire? Because obviously you were like, okay, it's a bit of a gimmicky sort of thing, but it's what I like. Like, what was it about it that you wanted to be the Kung Fu Vampire? Not that it's super more ridiculous than Lady Gaga or something, but it is a Kung Fu fucking vampire.
Well, when I came up with it, I didn't actually think of the word gimmick. That was never even part of my vocabulary. You know what I mean? I just was never a judgmental guy. Things to me are either good or they're not. And people either own up to what they're doing or they don't. And if somebody was to call himself Rob Zombie and I went to see him and it was like a fucking skinny dude doing emo with nothing, didn't look cool and didn't have a good music or cool videos, I'd be like, this dude's fucking ridiculous. Why'd he call himself Rob Zombie? He's an idiot. But if I was to go see a Rob Zombie concert and they bring out these, I've never actually seen Zombie live, which is, I'm missing out, I'm sure, but
it's interesting. He just wears a plaid shirt. He looks a lot like Kurt Cobain.
Long story short, we were in the backyard on a hot summer night and just getting stoned, just relaxing, and one of them said,
day walking,
dude, your backyard is sick. We should do a Kung Fu film back here, like just a little indie film. And the other guy was like, dude, we should do a vampire film back here. It's perfect.
And then you go,
do they ever get upset that you stole their ideas?
and then
one of them looked over at me and said, dude, you're the Kung Fu Vampire, bro. It's like everything about what I was doing was Asian influenced, and I was very sleeping in late and staying up late.
Like Asians.
I was abducting girls, biting their necks.
Now, this is a two-part question. Does the Kung Fu Vampire ever get sad? And then what does he do not to be sad?
Sad?
Yeah.
No.
Happy all the time.
Well, isn't Gothic kind of sad?
The Gothic that applies to what I'm doing is in the musical style. It's in the strings and having this really dark music. You know what I mean? Not some guy whining at the piano crying over his girlfriend. You know,
Oh,
this
so like
is
the
very.
Okay, well, how about you
This is like if,
personally?
you know, Tim Burton music. Tim Burton music, if it was
Danny
had some
Elfman.
sick drums and
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, someone rapping to it.
Now,
Hey,
what
real Asian influence.
what about you personally?
What do you mean?
You ever get sad?
No.
Really?
Not even one.
sad? How do you not get sad?
I mean, I've been sad, but I don't. In general, I try to live a happy, positive life, man. You
Well,
know?
did someone ever break your heart?
Ooh, good one.
You guys are hilarious. I call in, you guys are asking awesome questions. Everybody asks the same fucking questions. It's annoying. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you want you to look it up online. It's online 20 times. You know, so, no, I mean, I don't know. I've had some really, 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 really good pussy and nice girlfriends. And it didn't work out. And
You should put that on a shirt.
Come on, man.
I've had some really, 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 really good pussy. The Kung Fu Vampire.
But no, I hear what you're saying, but I also hear there's a story behind it. I hear that there's definitely some heartbreak.
Some
Just
hurt.
open up to us, man.
Let's hear it.
you know, that's not really the most interesting thing about me, to be honest.
You have no idea Kung Fu.
It's nothing too extreme, man. You know, the most sad I've ever been is last summer. My friend was murdered on my birthday, and
Jesus
I wasn't around.
Christ.
Friend was murdered on
And
your
you've never
birthday?
been sad? Oh my god.
No, I was sad about that. That was the
Yeah.
saddest I've been in a long time.
Jesus.
He was killed in my hometown while I was on tour in Virginia, and I got the call, and I was like, we were crossing Chesapeake Bay, and I got the call, and I hadn't eaten, and we were, you know, I was just.
Well, that'd be horrible with no food in the system.
I was not in a good headspace, to
Yeah.
be honest, you know, and I got that call and was like, are you fucking kidding me? And so that was a pretty sad moment I still think about quite often, you know.
Well, yeah.
Wow,
pretty
that is a
fresh wound.
fucking heavy situation.
Yeah, no one's ever given us
Yeah,
an
he was
answer
one
like
of my
that.
best friends, and he was one of my security guys, too, so it was just like, oh, Jesus Christ. It was
Wow.
pretty
Wow.
heavy, man.
Does your
Pretty
dick
painful,
hurt from
man.
all the pussy you get?
Nice.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, hey, it aches sometimes.
Yeah, you know.
You ever get that achy prostate? You know what happens
It
when you
depends
come
if
a
it's
lot.
like, you know, 5 tour dates in a row with the right group of people, and
Do you
know.
Get that achy breaky
do you
dick.
have psycho fans that try to like bring you like blood and shit? Like,
you know, that's not even a silly question. There's
yes.
not a lot of them. Most of them know that how my style is and the kind of person I am to some degree, and I wouldn't be into that. But I did have this guy just recently in Wyoming who tends to always make it a point to bring it up to me, like online or on social networks. He's like, "Remember that time I brought the real heart to the show?
Oh.
You really took a bite into it." But yeah, this guy brought like a raw cow's or pig's heart with blood all over it and everything. And was like, "Look."
Say
They-
woman's.
Could he not give it to you because so many girls wanted his phone number?
and but we kind
guy
of
is-
know where you would been. You would probably have been like, "Wow, man, I appreciate you're a fan, but seriously, what are you
Get away,
doing?"
yeah.
Like
Well,
seriously,
here's
Ben
the thing,
Parkins.
dude. It's some other. It was in Wyoming, Casper, Wyoming, and it was the middle of winter, and it seemed like so many just crazy fucking psycho bitches and just weird people, cool people. But there was a girl who went up and actually took a bite out of a raw heart. I couldn't
Oh,
believe
wow.
it. And just to be like like, you know.
Someone was shocking at a Kung Fu Vampire concert?
Damn. The fucking
Yeah.
Wyoming gets down.
But dude, you know you're ridiculous when even Kung Fu Vampire is like, "Whoa, settle down."
Well, calm down, guys.
Yeah, giving them pointers on how not to be so crazy.
But now, hold on. Are
Yeah.
you actually Kung Fu Vampire? Because I know your band is Kung Fu Vampire.
Yeah, I am, but I have a band. You know what
Okay.
I mean? Like, I'm Kung Fu Vampire, but you know, if these guys weren't doing it anymore and I had new people, I think people would still just be like, whatever. It always changes. It's all good. You know? I roll with the live band because I want to put more into my music. I think these guys getting up there doing karaoke, no offense to them, it's just not bringing something new to the table.
I think
Oh,
it's
but
a
are
good-
you saying something like ICP? Are they doing karaoke?
I mean, every rapper that doesn't have a live band, basically.
Ooh.
I like it. I like your stance.
I like Kung Fu Vampire.
I like your strong opinions.
Now,
And then here's the other thing, though. Here's the other thing. If you're like ICP or Tech Nine and you actually bring a live show while doing that, I'm not gonna I can't knock you. You know, like Tech Nine's really dope live. He doesn't have a band, but he dances, and you know, I mean, he's into the thing. He's got a good lighting show and all
Shucking
this
and
stuff he's
jiving.
doing ICP. Yeah, shucking and.
Oh, no.
Kung Fu Vampire. You're a racist.
We're just playing. We're just playing. But no, I get what you're saying, because there are some rappers that just stand there and the song is actually playing.
Yeah,
and they're kind of just
saying
they don't even do the chorus.
They own the stage.
Yeah, they're rapping over their lyrics and they're not doing. You know what I mean? Like, is that supposed to impress anybody? It doesn't matter how good your song is; it's still stupid.
Do you run into groupies where you kind of have to like be on, where like say you want to get in that sweet spot, you know what I mean? But you have to like still be a vampire, like, because they're all about it. Like, you must have some stories.
Yeah.
But are you ever kind of like, you're rolling your eyes, but you're like, oh, oh, get in my closet.
To be honest, guys, like, there's girls who would like really love the whole, keeping the contacts in and stuff like that.
And you're like,
hi-ya! But I think
Can you imagine how weird it must be for them to like go home like the next day having been fucked by a kung fu vampire?
No,
weird or awesome?
There's nothing embarrassing because no one would believe them. Yeah, I fucked the kung fu vampire. No, you didn't. That doesn't exist.
Now,
well, I don't know if you guys I don't know how much research you guys have done, but I actually haven't really worn like face paint or anything like that for almost 3 years.
Well, yeah, we actually saw that you grew your hair out and you stopped rocking the paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I actually was doing that before I knew about the whole juggalo thing. I'm from San Jose, California, man. There's some juggalos running around here. And to the juggalos here, don't be offended, but they're just not in, this is a city of 1.1 million people, and it's 80% Mexican. So, juggalos are not something I grew up. I didn't know what that is. So I did that. All this stuff came organically. And so once Twisted invited me on this tour, that was still new to me. I didn't know what it was. And when I got out there and came around that curtain and there's 2,000 people with their face painted, it's like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome, but it's crazy. I didn't know there was a whole movement of face painted, musicians. So after a while, I kind of was like, man, that's their thing. I mean, I gotta keep switching it up, because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to do their thing, even though I'm easily very accepted in that community. I'm one of the most known people, I would say, in that community. But it's like, I don't want people to think, oh, this guy is, he's trying to be like ICP. Like, I didn't grow up with ICP. That's not somebody I listened to. So for me I basically said, hey, you guys can have your thing. I don't need that to put on a good performance. I can come out here with slick back hair and a plaid shirt and my live band and rock this fucking venue.
I respect that.
Switching gears real quick, though, when it comes to porno, do you prefer like a storyline or just a bunch of scenes in a row?
I'm not really into that. I'm not really into porn, honestly.
But say you were.
That sounds kind of boring.
So what?
I would think I would just want scene after scene of.
Yeah, you would, Kung.
Well, I mean,
brown booty bouncing.
Oh, booty bouncing, Jeff.
I would think that you would want like orchestral porn stars and shit, like a long like love story and like fucking epic 80s. No, look.
No.
What about like a superhero parody porn? No.
You know what? I'm a pretty open-minded guy, so I guess I'd have to check it out.
Porn's porn.
I would like to see I would like to see a rockabilly porn, though. If some rockabilly chicks made a porn, that'd be kind of cool. I do want to see some midget porn. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see some crazy midget porn.
You'll say that, and then you'll see it, and you'll be like, oh, I'm going to go back to normal porn forever.
If we get dark, one of our hosts here, Jeff, he was telling us he's watched retarded porn.
Oh, yeah, it's not good.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good at all.
that is dark.
If you ever want me to, that would make me sad. Then I'd be able to answer.
Dude, it bummed us all out really hard. We all got really sad.
It's the saddest.
It's the saddest.
If I could talk about something that's pretty dark.
That reminds me of like a kung fu movie I saw with a guy who had no arms or legs but was kicking people's ass.
Oh, yeah.
He had no arms. I forgot what it was called, but
yeah, it was just weirdos.
The
in,
man
like,
without
wheelchairs.
the iron fists.
I do sense like a slight, with guys like you, it's rare. Like I've never done an interview where I hear a slight sense of condescending personality. I slightly get it from you guys, but I don't know to what degree if you guys are like that with everybody.
I think it's more just that we joke around.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of.
I like it. I'm very into it. Like my favorite comedian in the whole world is Larry David. Like that's like my Curb Your Enthusiasm is my favorite show. So
great show.
That kind of stuff to me is cool. But the thing is, man, is just like at the same time, guys like you, I would think are advocates for things that are individualistic and don't follow the regular realm. Like
there's definitely I mean you're right when you say that we come to this interview of you with a little, like, we are being a little condescending. We're kind of throwing some jabs your way. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, we do hate things that are really mainstream, obviously. Like, we hate Jimmy Fallon. I'm sure you love him. But
who's the SNL guy?
Yeah, the guy, he's SNL, he's late night now. So no, I mean, and we do respect a lot of things that do it on their own and make it. But of course, when you hear Kung Fu Vampire, I'm sure you're aware that there's like an immediate stigma to that. Like, what? Like, come on, is this a joke? So
right.
I think we came at it like that.
It just depends on the person, you know. Like, I never thought that. But, I mean, I only when I talk to people like you guys, like, oh, I guess I could see, you know, it seems crazy. But, I mean, so does, you know, you think of all these bands out there with these ridiculous names that don't really have any heart to them, especially like the whole indie scene right now, how they do the 3-word band names, like A Night with So-and-So, or, you know, you know what I mean? Well, you know what I'm trying to say, though, right?
Yeah,
like these bands, indie bands.
Yeah,
like,
Bell and Sebastian.
Today and tomorrow. It's like, what the? You're basing your entire art off some 3-word fucking phrase that has no meaning to it. Whereas my shit is like, if you hear my first Kung Fu Vampire album, every beat has koto or zither, Japanese or Chinese stringed instruments in the music, and I'm rapping about vampiric, Zen-related shit. Like, there is a definite cohesive, you know, thing here. Everything is Kung Fu Vampire. There's only one, and it's me. And so it's Twitter/Kung Fu Vampire. Instagram, I'm very, very personal, so people who want to see my kid, and I have a little 2-year-old daughter who's absolutely amazing, and so if I'm not touring, she's standing right next to me, and so you can see those pictures and stuff on Instagram. So
are you married or
no?
Oh,
married to the night,
living in sin, living in sin.
I'm married to the gun.
Married to the gun.
So, yeah, so
Nice.
basically, man, everything's Kung Fu Vampire. I've been really trying to create and provide more content on YouTube. YouTube.com/Kung Fu Vampire.
Yeah, good luck at the gathering, man. You're an official Jim and Demolo now.
You did it.
Yes.
Congratulations,
good
man.
Good meeting you fellas, man. Good meeting you fellas, man. I appreciate the interview, and much love. We'll talk to you online.
Yeah, it was good talking to you too, dude.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Later. As we've said 1,000, you see, you get someone who's the Kung Fu Vampire, and he has a choice. He can be a piece of shit or a cool dude. Now I like Kung Fu Vampire.
You can be riffraff, or you can be Kung Fu Vampire.
You could be Bangs, or you could be Kung Fu Vampire.